Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As we're here, it is October 22nd, 2018. Tonight was Monday Night Raw, and show started off rough. Got Nick here with me. Nick, what's going on?
What's going on, folks? Welcome to the Monday Night Raw review for
Raw.
October 22nd, 2018. Man, it was just an episode, man.
Yeah.
What a
Out of
Before we start
nowhere.
talking about it, we're gonna check out who's in chat. Edward something I can't even pronounce that. TC Key, Lenny, Nicole Paulus, Diana Argonon, who again just fucking capital letters, hey Tim and Nick, and then says nothing the rest of the show. I guarantee you it's a bot. Robert's here, Travis Ray is here, William and Nicholas Altmore is here. The other Nick, we have so many Nicholases in here. Diego Velasquez says, "I'm not crying, you're crying."
Hey, I choked up a little.
I didn't. It's sad and all, but it's just like the dude's beaten Undertaker, Triple H, and Brock Lesnar. He'll beat this.
He's beat it before.
Exactly. Y2 Jericho's here. Anthony Mays is here. Sean Cook, glad you could make it. Hero X, Luke Might, Raider Nation, everyone else. Well, I mean, it looks like
I don't think you want to talk about them Raiders today.
nah, it's fine. We needed to trade Cooper and get some first round picks for him finally. Maybe just trade
Derek
Carr
Carr
too.
gonna be the next to go. Anyways, this is not a football podcast.
I wouldn't mind if he was the next go, but Raw started about as fucking weird as you could start an episode of Monday Night Raw.
So first off, I have to say, before Raw went on the air, maybe noon Pacific time, Robbie of Barstool Sports sent out a tweet saying that Roman Reigns was injured, but he didn't know anything else as far as Roman Reigns is injured. So now we're all scratching our heads like, okay, is this going to keep him out of Crown Jewel? What's going to happen with Roman Reigns? How bad's the injury? But no one expected what happened, what he announced.
God, no one, no one.
And nobody knew that he had this back in the day. Like a lot of people that I saw on Twitter, like other media, they cover wrestling and other wrestling website people, they all seemed like they had never heard that Roman had this before.
Oh, God, that's just so rough.
So, Monday Night Raw kicks off, and immediately Roman Reigns' music hits. And of course, crowd, thunderous boos because, it's Roman Reigns. What else are they going to do? They're not going to cheer him. Well, I mean, they did, but
watching that segment and then not realizing that that was going to be the announcement and just the boos from it.
Well, when he came out in street clothes, I was like, ooh, are we confirming Robbie's injury? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I knew something was not normal. Because Roman never does not come out with the flak jacket off. Anyway, so Roman comes out. Of course, crowd's booing, and you can tell he's not physically, but he's a little emotional. But he kept it all together.
Yeah.
So he comes out, and he's just like, I've told you guys that I'm going to be a fighting champion, and I'm going to be here every single week defending this title as long as I'm allowed to. But I've been living a lie. And to prove to everybody that this is not a storyline, he goes, my real name is Joe. And I've been dealing with leukemia for 11 years now. And it's back.
What got me was the crowd, their reaction to it. It was just like they didn't know what to say.
As soon as he said that line, they just got silent.
Yeah, it was like, gosh.
They're probably just like, well, this ain't an angle.
Yeah, seriously.
So he goes on to state, well, he's been living with this for 11 years. And with this now, he can't fulfill his role. He can't defend the title, and he'll have to relinquish the championship. He said that he doesn't want the fans to feel bad for him because he has faith. He says that he's going to go home, and he's going to deal with this. He's going to prove to everybody, his friends, his family, his children, his wife, that this is just a bump in the road. He said this is not a retirement speech, and that he will be back as soon as possible. He said sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I bet he'll come back soon. I'd have to imagine.
So according to the Wrestling Observer website, they stated that Roman was originally diagnosed when he was 22 years old. Roman is now, I'm going to get his actual age. Roman is now 33. So, yeah, 11 years ago. Mm-hmm. He would just go on to state that, he's going to be back soon. He's going to be back better than ever. And then he said, believe that. So he walks up the ramp. He's shaking everybody's hands, telling everybody goodbye. Crowd's just, thank you, Roman chants going. I mean, they're cheering for him. And then Seth and Dean come out. And Seth Rollins is an emotional wreck. Which I don't blame him. So they hug Roman. Roman starts to cry a little bit. And they do what could possibly, hopefully not, be the final Shield fist bump.
Oh, it's definitely the final one because Dean turned heel tonight.
Hey, you never know. Seth turned heel back in 2000.
What do you mean you never know? Oh, about them potentially getting back to it. I thought you meant if Dean's a heel now.
No. That fucker's a heel. Excuse my language.
He's a straight up heel.
No, they could eventually get back together in the future, but I mean, who knows how long Roman's going to be away for? It can be a year, it could be 2 years, it could be 6 years. We never know. You just don't know with something like this, and I just hope for the best.
Yeah, no, seriously. Good luck, man. Power to you.
So, with that, they go to commercial break. They come back, and they went straight to Michael Cole, Renee Young, Corey Graves. They were choked up. The crowd was still... You can hear the crowd chanting, "Cancer sucks."
Believe it or not, yes, it does.
Yeah.
It's
and
awful.
they wish the best... Huh?
So thanks, Y2 Jericho, for the $1. Ambrose is about to get nuclear level heat.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And...
Could you imagine? Could you imagine getting diagnosed with, leukemia again and then having your best friend turn on your other friend? How freaking incredible.
I mean, WWE finally did something that people didn't expect to happen.
Thank you, George Brown, for the $2. Dean and Seth look like they didn't want to turn. I don't blame you. Luke might with the $1.99. Will WWE put the Universal title on Braun Strowman? Most likely. It's going to be Braun versus Brock at Crown Jewel.
Right. So,
thanks, guys.
We go into the first match, and it's Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley in an 8 to 9 minute match.
Yeah,
and Leo Rush was at ringside the whole time on the microphone. This is...
I want to say something about that real quick. I think the chemistry that these two guys have together is electric.
Oh yeah,
I'm really turning around on because they're doing so much outside of the ring.
Because they're not just media stuff.
Exactly, he's really furthering his character on social media, and I think that's playing a huge factor. I love what they're doing. I really do like it.
So he's doing the stuff at ringside where he's talking on the mic the entire match. I know the first week they did this, Vince was in his ear the entire time feeding him lines. I don't know if it's the same this time. But as far as the match goes, Balor slipped out of a delayed vertical suplex, hit a sling blade, and missed a coup de grace. Lashley nailed him with a clothesline, but Balor countered a Dominator into a schoolboy for the pin. So
yeah, it was rather weird.
Weird finish. Go back to the announcers. They... I guess you could say talked a little more about Roman Reigns, and then they go, as far as the vacant Universal Championship goes, acting general manager Baron Corbin has been on the phone with the Raw commissioner Stephanie McMahon all day to figure out what to do with the championship. We hopefully will have an update throughout tonight's show. They did the obvious thing.
Yeah, thank you, Chris McNutt, for the $5. Why would you put the tag titles on Dean and Seth when Dean will turn heel? That doesn't make sense at all. You just read my tweet, didn't you?
Nick said the exact same thing.
I know. Thank you, Kristen. Appreciate it, and we'll talk about that towards the end.
So backstage, they show Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Ziggler thanked Drew for having his back. McIntyre saw the writings on the wall and knew once Braun Strowman went for Ziggler, he would be next. Ziggler said that at Crown Jewel, he can prove that he's always said, that he's the best in the world by winning the World Cup. He was worried about Strowman roaming around, though, but McIntyre told him not to fear. Right before he went to leave, Ziggler said, "Where are you going?" And McIntyre goes, "Monster hunting."
It's a good video game.
Hey, it's Capcom's best-selling game of ever.
Oh, it's a great game. It's a
So
great game.
we then get a Ruby Riott taking on Sasha
Real
Banks.
quick, thank you, Anthony Vance, for the $1.99. Jesus, all these donations coming in at one night. Do you, Dean, wanted to turn heel tonight? He did. I don't know what you're asking. $1.99 from Y2 Jericho. Gotta say the Dean turn was bold, but a huge swerve, and I think that's what. Yeah, I think that's what they were hoping for, was just to confuse us. I guess to probably distract us from what really happened.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. I think a title change and them holding the belts would have been fine, but
I'll tell you what I thought was going to happen when we get to it.
Wait for the main event.
So at ringside, a brawl broke out. There was Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan at ringside, as well as Natalya and Bayley. Banks had the crossface applied on Ruby Riott. Banks left the ring to knock down Logan and Morgan. Ruby used the distraction to hit the Riott kick for the victory on Sasha. These 6 women will be facing off at Evolution this Sunday in a 6-woman tag team match.
Oh, boy.
If I was them, I would have at least wanted to be in the Battle Royal, because at least if you can win the Battle Royal, you get a woman's title shot. You win the 6-woman, and it's like, hey, I won a 6-woman tag that we've been doing for weeks.
Yeah.
So Nia Jax cut a promo backstage about Evolution. She said that she would be winning the Battle Royal and would be on the road back to her championship, and she wouldn't squander the opportunity. So Triple H cut a promo. DX was out there. Triple H and Shawn Michaels got a pretty good reaction. Triple H said that they weren't afraid and mocked the promo that Undertaker and Kane did last week. They said that Kane being the mayor didn't get much. They said something about Kane being mayor and he didn't get much of a reaction. Michaels said maybe nostalgia was another way of saying old. I think they read your article.
Yeah, I think they read my article.
Because they were just talking about how everyone's calling us nostalgia, but nostalgia could be a good thing. Triple H goes on to state.
No, it can't. Yeah, in moderation.
He said that. Huh?
Said much like the intake of cocaine. It's good in moderation.
He said, speaking of nostalgia, the #1 movie in theaters right now is Halloween. And that movie is how old? He said also, nostalgia just packed 70,000 people into a stadium in Australia. He said, so maybe nostalgia was another way of saying, we're better.
Bold claim, but okay.
He would then go on to point at the shirt that Shawn Michaels was wearing, which was the new DX shirt, and say that this DX represents something. But today, there's another X. Or he said this X represents one thing. But today, there's another X that stands for something new. And the crowd started chanting for NXT. Michaels said, we're running to that. The crowd, again, chanted for NXT. Triple H said that they weren't coming to Crown Jewel for the nostalgia. They're coming to kick some ass.
Real quick, $2 from Chris McNutt. Elias turns face. Who else is happy about it? We'll get to it. $2 from Nicholas. WWE needs to do a battle. Yeah, they wasn't very funny.
So Triple H said that we're coming to Crown Jewel to kick some ass. They were about to sign off, and then the lights kind of flickered. It's like, and I don't know why I thought this. When that happened, my first thought was shock the system, because they were just talking about NXT.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just Undertaker and Kane. A video package played where they were at a grave site, digging a grave and filling it up. Kane said that you can't turn back the clock. You can't survive the Brothers of Destruction. Tombstones for Michaels and Triple H were shown. Undertaker then said that they would own their souls for eternity. Poured dirt inside of an empty grave, and then said DX would rest in peace. And when they came back from this video package, Triple H and Shawn Michaels had disappeared.
Yeah,
they then replayed the opening segment with Roman Reigns. They then announced that what took apparently all day for Stephanie McMahon and Baron Corbin to come up with, they're just taking Roman out of the Universal title match at Crown Jewel, and it will be a one-on-one singles match between Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar. That took all day.
Coming. Yeah.
So Dana Brooke said that she would win the Battle Royal at Evolution, and we will finally see what she can do. Paul Heyman.
Woohoo.
Paul Heyman would then come out for a pretty good promo. He said that his thoughts and prayers were with a champion of a man who we know as Roman Reigns. He said it was humbling to be among the people in the locker room tonight, among such courage and such greatness. Heyman said that he wants his children to understand that we witnessed sacrifice. Reigns sacrificed his obligations tonight because, to everyone there, the title deserves the best the champion has to offer. He said the fans had the right to be able to point at the champion and know that the person was the very best. Heyman said that only one man between Braun Strowman and Lesnar would be worthy of being the champion, and that sure the hell wasn't Braun Strowman. He said only Lesnar was worthy of being your champion. Then we got a bunch of boos. Heyman said that Strowman can call himself a monster, but Lesnar didn't bill himself as a beast. He is a real beast. Heyman will go on to state that Strowman wasn't in Lesnar's league and wasn't even in the same species. Strowman would then come out and interrupt. Strowman told Heyman that he should warn Lesnar that he was going to get his ass beat. Strowman said that he was bringing the title back to Raw, and when Reigns beat leukemia, that would be the first person, or he would give Roman the first title shot. So he's talking like Roman ain't going to be gone long, but Strowman would go on to close it out by stating that Lesnar would get these hands. McIntyre would then run in from the ramp and nail Braun Strowman with a Claymore kick, taking him out. Loved it. Promo by Heyman. Strowman was good here, and then McIntyre out of nowhere. So backstage, after a commercial break, Charlie Caruso asked McIntyre if he was afraid of what's going to happen now, repercussions from Braun Strowman. McIntyre said no. He said the roster wasn't willing to do what it takes, but he was. He doesn't believe in monsters, and Strowman just received a swift kick to reality.
Yeah, no, that kick was insane.
You know how he came up with the Claymore kick, right?
No.
He set it on the table for 3. He was going for like a running big boot, and when he went to hit the big boot, I forget who he was doing it to, his other leg kicked out from under him by accident, like he slipped, and when he watched it back, it looked cool, so he just made it his move.
Nice. Thank you, Y2 Jericho, for the $1.99. I will die laughing if Brock wins a crown jewel. Too soon.
So with reality, McIntyre said that Strowman would realize that's what he needed. So Elias was out to play guitar, and Apollo Crews came out.
Yeah, of all people.
Had an 8-minute match where nothing really happened, and Elias won with a big knee in the drift away.
That's pretty cool.
Kurt Angle did a pre-tape promo. He said he used to be the best in the world, and now years later, he's in the position to prove that yet again with the Crown Jewel World Cup tournament. He ran down the others in the tournament, and it felt very scripted because Kurt usually does feel very scripted.
Right off that teleprompter, baby.
So after the break, JoJo introduced us to Elias again. But before he can perform, he was interrupted by acting general manager Baron Corbin. Crowd booed Corbin as he tried to move on with the rest of the show. Corbin mentioned that Stephanie and he were about to call, or he said that he was going to call her, but Elias responded with, "I know who Stephanie McMahon is." I didn't get it really. Elias said that he was a fan and wanted to perform for the fans, but Corbin cut him off and said Stephanie doesn't like him. He should fire him right now and told him to get off his stage. Elias claimed that he didn't hear Corbin and said, "Shut your mouth. He's going to perform anyways." Called Corbin a puppet, that Stephanie McMahon has his hand up his ass, and Corbin cut his music, cut his mic, said, "Get off my stage again." Elias kind of hesitated but walked off before Baron Corbin could start to talk. Elias then came back and cracked him over the back with a guitar.
Face turn, baby.
Yep.
Finally, some development for this guy.
I love
Finally.
it. It's just going to be weird when he goes to do his little shtick in the ring and he doesn't badmouth a city.
No, he still will.
But then they'll boo him.
No, they won't.
They do.
They cheer. They cheer and boo. They cheer and boo him every time. It's not going to be any different. He's just
Probably
gonna
not,
be
yeah.
a good guy.
So we then get the women's contract signing, Raw Women's Championship contract signing for this week's Evolution pay-per-view.
Boy, was this just bad.
They showed some tweets from both Ronda and Nikki. Nikki's really playing up the fact that she's a TV reality star, not that she's a pro wrestler. And when they announced her and Brie as being on the Tonight Show Friday, they did not say, "Oh, WWE superstars Nikki and Brie Bella. You know what they said?
Total Diva Stars, whatever.
They said, and from E! Channel's Total Divas, Nikki and Brie Bella. Like, really?
Well, they're doing that on purpose.
I guess.
Because
I wonder
the whole story between that is that Ronda's the wrestler, the Bellas are the
right.
kitty.
Now, they're all supposed to be on the Today Show together tomorrow. I wonder if they're going to do some sort of angle.
I have to.
Like, Becky and Charlotte did the brawl at the Performance Center. You think the Today Show lets them have a little brawl?
Nah.
Well, I'll get to it.
So they'll probably do a... Yeah, go ahead.
So they showed a tail of the tape. Ronda and Nikki, they said they showed their win-loss record. Rousey was 24-0. Nikki was 337, 22-4. Well, no crap. Ronda's been around for what? 8 months? Nikki's been around for 8 years?
Nikki Bella's only lost 4 times?
No. The 4 would be a draw. Win, lose, draw.
Draw goes in...
Draw, no contest.
Draw goes in the middle.
Well,
so it's win, draw, loss.
No,
That's how
I thought it was win, loss, draw.
No. It's like the Cleveland Browns are whatever, won, and however many losses they have. It's always... Draw's always in the middle.
But I thought in UFC, they do it as win, loss, draw.
Who knows?
Anyways. So Michael Cole was out there to be the moderator. I thought it should have been Renee Young since this is the Women's Evolution pay-per-view, and she kind of does this on SmackDown all the time. Cole introduced Nikki and Brie. When Ronda came out, they left the ring. Nikki said that they weren't here to fight, especially here in Providence, Rhode Island. Rousey said that she wasn't going to beat them up right now. She was just going to give them her word. She asked them to get in the ring so Nikki could sign the contract. She goes, I just want you to get in here and sign this contract so I know you can't run away this coming Sunday. Isn't that how a fight contract and contract signing is supposed to go? No. Bella's got in the ring, and they mocked Ronda. They go, you said you're going to give us your word, but did you give your mother your word when you told her you would win at the Olympics, you would be a world champion like her, and that you would leave the octagon undefeated?
Would have been really funny if Ronda responded like, I wish your mom died in the womb or something like that. Remember that line? Remember that? I wish you died in the womb. That was the worst promo in the world.
So Nikki would go on to kind of shake her booty a little bit before she said, she signs the contract and goes, what'd she say? Good luck getting beat by a diva or having a diva take your title, something like that. And I was like, really? WWE's done all of this women's evolution to get away from the word diva. We're not calling you divas anymore. You're superstars just like the men. But then you do this diva thing with Nikki Bella. Like, are they going backwards?
No, they're doing that on purpose.
I get it, but it just for what this is supposed to.
When the women wrestler beats the diva, it shows that we're not. I don't know. It's stupid.
So Nikki signs the contract, and as she does, she slaps Ronda across the face. Ronda laughed it off, signed the contract, grabbed the mic, and goes, "Come Sunday, I will end you. Jesus. I will give you my word." Should have pulled a Jimmy King and said, "I will rule you." People didn't get that joke on Twitter.
I wouldn't get that joke? What?
People didn't get that joke when I made it on Twitter.
Wait, who made it?
No, I did. Say,
no, who said it originally, damn it?
You've never seen the movie Ready to Rumble?
That's why. Because most of our fucking audience are like teenagers that probably haven't seen the movie.
The movie is amazing. Everybody needs to go watch Ready to Rumble with David Arquette. Jimmy King will rule you.
I have something more important to say.
What?
I have to say thank you to Chris McNutt for another $5. Is WWE going to do, are they going to announce a women tag team title at Evolution?
Who knows?
Who knows, man?
Sasha kind of teased it again. She was on the WWE Instagram account yesterday. She said something about, she did like a Q&A thing, and they were like, how do you like teaming with Bayley? And she's like, we love it. We want a challenge for those tag team titles. And then she kind of paused and goes, whenever they announce them. So, we know they're coming. It's just a matter of a win. So they showed tweets from different various WWE superstars wishing Roman Reigns the best of luck in his fight with leukemia. Charlie Caruso was then backstage with both Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. They both had some words of encouragement for Roman Reigns. Ambrose said that there was no words to describe the ride that they've been on. And when there was no words, they had to do the only thing they knew, and that was win. Rollins said there were no words as well, but there was plenty of emotions, and that they would channel those emotions into the title victory tonight. Rollins ended with, we're going to do it for you, Roman. We love you. Believe that.
Oh yeah, I bet.
So then we get a 1 minute and 50-second fatal 4-way match to I guess what did they say? Preview the Battle Royal this week.
It was 4 minutes.
No. That match was not 4 minutes. It was no more than 2 minutes long. Basically, they all wiped each other out. Moon hit the Eclipse on Tamina. 1, 2, 3. Ember Moon not winning on Sunday.
Nope. God, no.
I mean, you don't win on Raw, but you win at the pay-per-view. So the announcers ran down the card for Evolution. They announced that Renee Young will be making history when it is her and Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix on commentary Sunday. So it looks like we could assume maybe they'll add Michael Cole, but the way they said it sounds like they may not add Michael Cole, and it's just going to be Renee and Beth.
Mm-hmm.
Titus O'Neil came out. They did a breast cancer awareness segment. He announced 6 people that have beaten cancer. Charlie Caruso then would interview Lita and Trish. Now I gotta set this up. So over the weekend, news started to come out. Well, rumors started to trickle out that Alexa Bliss may have been injured at the house show on Saturday night. A lot of people were saying that it looked like a broken nose, but then Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer Daily Update today did report that he was getting word from people within the company that Alexa may have suffered a concussion. So that leads us to this. Lita and Trish backstage being interviewed, and then they were interrupted by Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox looked super tall for some reason. I mean, she's a tall woman, but she looked way more taller than normal. She was there to distract Lita and Trish before Mickie James would attack them from behind. Alexa Bliss nowhere to be seen. James and Fox would then team up to beat down Trish and Lita, who would eventually get away, and then attack Fox and James. Officials pulled them all off each other, and I think, Alicia Fox was thrown into some chairs. Mickie James was thrown into a ladder face first, and no Alexa Bliss. So they're still announcing the match at Evolution with Alexa Bliss, so I think they're just hopeful that she'll be cleared in time.
All right.
Huh?
Said right.
Oh, it sounded like you were trying to say something, but had some peanut butter in your mouth or something, like you couldn't get it out. So that leads us to our main event, 20-minute match. It was Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre defending the Raw Tag Team Championships against Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins in a banger of a match.
Yeah.
This match was great. All 4 men were on their game, no doubt. The heels worked over Rollins.
What the fuck did you just say?
Huh?
All these men were on their game, no doubt. All right, Ice-T, relax over there. Jeez.
What?
I don't know. You just sound like... You did not sound like Tim. All these G's was on their game, no doubt. The
Whoa.
fuck possessed you?
Anyways.
Oh God damn, who possessed you?
Anyways.
I got the spirit of a brother.
Hey now. So the heels worked over Seth Rollins early, quite for a while actually, until he was able to make a hot tag. Ziggler yanked Ambrose off the apron. Ambrose chased after Ziggler and ran into McIntyre, who knocked him down. McIntyre then gave Rollins a reverse Alabama slam, leading to a commercial. After the break, Ambrose was a legal man. Rollins tagged himself in and hit a frog splash on McIntyre for a 2 count, while Ambrose took out Ziggler with a suicide dive. Rollins followed later with a amazing superplex to Falcon Arrow spot on Dolph Ziggler for a 2 count. I think this was the most fluid and crisp he's ever done that move. Honestly, it looked like he didn't even land before he was already up for the Falcon Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was how quick. It was just bang, boom. So Rollins tried a buckle bomb, but McIntyre caught Ziggler. They then kicked Ambrose out of the ring. Ziggler gave Rollins a zigzag for a near fall. Strowman's music was then hit. He began marching down to the ring. As this happened, Rollins took out the referee by accident. Strowman went after McIntyre, and they brawled through the crowd. Strowman eventually chased him to the back. This would then lead Ziggler in the ring by himself. Ziggler grabbed the belt. He was going to use it as a weapon, and Dean Ambrose said, no, 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 and snatched it away. Rollins would then go and give the curb stomp, or as Michael Cole calls it, the stomp, to Ziggler. Ambrose tossed the referee back into the ring. 1, 2, 3, new Raw Tag Team Champions. This crowd went bananas. Absolutely insane. You would have thought like Stone Cold Steve Austin returned to win the world title. But before Rollins could even stand up, I don't even know. So Ambrose goes over to him. You think, okay, Ambrose is going to help him up. No. As he's quote unquote, helping him up, he grabs him for the dirty deeds. Seth drops the belt and gets dropped face first onto the belt.
Oh, yeah.
Ambrose will then just begin to brutally assault Seth Rollins. I don't know what Seth was saying or what Dean was saying, other than you can hear Dean keep going, say it again. Say it again, Seth. I don't know. Say what again? I didn't get that part.
No idea.
Crowd was just booing. You can hear people in the front row, why, Dean? Why? Dean, don't do this. Dean, why? Why would you do this? Ambrose then would grab the belt and throw it at Dean or at Rollins after he beat him down at ringside and threw him into the timekeeper's area. Ambrose would then take the padding off from ringside, grab Rollins for the dirty deeds, tease it, and then finally hit it on the exposed concrete. People were then, you can hear, swearing at Dean Ambrose at ringside. Dean Ambrose would then leave through the crowd, and as he's leaving through the crowd, you hear one man justify Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
He says, hold on, and I quote. I got the quote right here. He says, hold on, why do I not have this up? I should have had this up already. He says, Dean has every... You hear a guy in the crowd literally yell, Dean has every right to turn. Good job, Dean. As he's walking through the crowd.
Love it.
And Raw goes off the air. Dean Ambrose may be heel heat-wise the main roster equivalent of Tommaso Ciampa. Because they did something that nobody... Okay, so I gotta word this properly. They did something nobody expected to happen tonight. Everybody eventually expected Dean would turn, but not on the night that all this went down with Roman Reigns and they won the titles.
Seriously.
But crazy way to end the show. Good way to end the show, in my opinion.
It was an interesting episode of Monday Night Raw for October 22nd, 2018. I have been Nick. You can follow me on Twitter at PWU_Armstrong. Chris McNutt, $2 because what Seth said last week. I don't remember what he said at all.
We called him a lunatic.
I don't know. You can follow us on Twitter at PWUnlimited. Facebook /Pro Wrestling ULTD. Right here on the YouTube. Tim, check out our good friends over at Fightful, actually. At Fightful Online, Fightful.com.
Yes. And check out their YouTube as well. Sean's doing more new stuff on the YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm. Tim, where can they find you?
To find me basically everywhere at Timmy Buddy. We will be live again tomorrow night following SmackDown Live, as that is the final show before the Evolution pay-per-view this Sunday night. We will be live on Wednesday with a normal Pro Wrestling Unlimited Wednesday podcast, and we will be live on Sunday following the Evolution pay-per-view. So, we'll see you guys again tomorrow night.
See ya.